Today is October 18th, 2010. We're sitting in the living room with Betty Gordon in Seattle, Washington.
Well, in 1976, I was living in Seattle with my husband and two grown daughters. And empty nest syndrome, I think, set in. And I became very restless. And I happened to pick up Betty Friedan's Feminine Mystique, read that, and became angry, and thought she'd been following me around writing my story because I was a full-time housewife and mother from 1948, and this was 1976 now. So the spirit moved me to get me out of the house. So I took an art class in soft sculpture, met Francie Allen, the wonderful mentor from then on, who talked about Judy Chicago and the Feminist Studio Workshop at the Women's Building in Los Angeles. And after I had made a few sculptures, she said to me that I seemed to have a direct line to personal symbols. So she said it would be wonderful if you could go to Los Angeles. I talked it over with my family. Everybody seemed to be supportive. So thus began my pilgrimage in the summer of 1976 to the Women's Building in Los Angeles. I didn't know what to expect as far as other students. And it was a little surprising to find that I was 30 years older than anybody else in that summer art program. It was very interesting to listen to them, and then I finally, began to tell my story of being at home all those years. And I just saw independence all around me. The women were all creative, very bright. And at times I felt, I don't know if I can do this. But something gave me the courage, and I think it was being in that culture, women's culture, where you could talk about anything and you'd be supported. I was not speaking out until I got to the Women's Building much. I could advocate for my kids, but not for myself. And so I learned there how to stand up and talk, and at least more than I ever had. And through verbal insight therapy with Jane, she was invaluable to my process of being able to facilitate and help me to do a thesis, teach a practicum first at the Women's Building with probably 15 students in the Feminist Studio Workshop, then took my class and then I documented that class using some of Jung's concepts and theories of the response that the women had to me as my age and as a facilitator. What I titled my class that I taught in the summer art program after, I want to go where I'm going, even though I don't know where that is. And that's the way my art comes out. And that's pretty much the way I live now. And something you don't have, I found that for me to be profound because it works. Something will happen. Activate the imagination, trust your intuition. There will be vision, magic, and healing in that. So I taught my own process. All that I have done since I went to the Women's Building in my art, and it's always looking for the meaning and having some skills now and tools to find it. I wouldn't have thought that I could do any of that if I hadn't felt that underlying support and watching what other women could do much younger than I, but I think that that was my foundation.